caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Good evening and welcome to the Caltrop. I'm your host, Michael Calderese, and I like to say happy holidays. Happy holidays to all the stoners, to all the potheads out there. You have your one day out of the year, so happy holidays. So you know what I'm saying? Let the potheads keep smoking on this 420. But listen, guys, I got a late start today. You know when I'm in the machine driving, loading stuff all day, running around. Don't have a lot of time to really set up the show. But we have a fun show for you tonight. We have some breaking news. We have Mr. Fitnex going to be joining us right after the monologue. And it's a very interesting story about a marijuana bust and some interesting dealings behind the scenes. And it's, you know, everyone knows the battles that I've been fighting. Everyone knows that I've been going after it's really the corruption. It's the disgusting nature of how certain groups of people operate. Okay. And it's a trail. It's pattern recognition. And this is the story that Mr. Fitnick's going to be telling us. It's yet another one in the pattern recognition of special favor, things happening for one group of people, and then really enforcement for one group. And it's very interesting when you get into the depths of all this stuff on how many layers there actually are and how deep it goes. But the story he's going to tell is indicative of everything that we've been fighting back about. And it's interesting, guys, because before I get to my monologue, I had the Lakewood Schmooze, a paper, tag me in a comment today. And they thought that they were going to own me by putting one of the comments I made, which is terrorism is subjective. And, you know, they thought that was funny, that I thought that terrorism is a subjective thing. And if you can't understand that basic premise that the people that are being bombed think that the person doing the bombing is a terrorist, if we can't live on that basic of an understanding, then there's a lot of garbage if you can't have that basic understanding of reality and of life. And when you can't even have that conversation where we understand those type of things, you understand what's taking place. You understand that there's a lot of cover-ups. There's a lot of dirty dealings going on. There's a lot of things that fundamentally the people doing wrong know that they're doing wrong. They just can't come to the grips with the fact that, you know, they've been caught and they have to stop doing some of the wrong things that they're doing. But it's absolutely unbelievable. But we have that. I honestly don't have a ton prepared for you today. I got bailed out by Mr. Fitnick. You know, I have a quick story I was going to tell you guys about. Meeting with I've been meeting with, you know, I've met with several politicians, whether it was formal or informal lately. You know, haven't been talking about it because I don't really want to mention their names or any of that stuff. Because I got to be honest, you know, a lot of these guys, one of the things is clear that I think they like what I'm doing. They just don't want to be associated with anything that I'm saying. And that's going to lead to the Mike's right, because, you know, I feel like any of our politicians, especially the local guys that have aspirations to go higher in politics, I think you're compromised the second you say, yes, I want to run nationally or I want to run at a bigger scale, I think the far majority of them get compromised because they get into a position where they don't want to make any waves with any groups, even if that group is doing wrong. They can't go at any group in particular because that's going to cost them votes. We live in a customer service society, and that's what the Mike's going to a customer service way of politics. But let's get the show started with the Mike's right. Shut the fuck up and listen. All right, everybody. You know what's funny? I've been sitting in rooms, like I've been saying, with politicians lately. And you know what? You have it in your mind where you expect villains, like full-on movie villains. I thought I was going to walk into one of these rooms and see like a guy petting a cat. Like, yes, we will be raising taxes and ruining your lives. But no, that's really not what I found. What I really found is customer service reps. And that's it. And that's all they are. And some are more honest and direct than others. But that's really what they've been deduced down to because they have no real power on any level. Politicians today are glorified customer service agents. But instead of solving your problems, they log a ticket and then close it immediately as soon as you leave the door. They say, yeah, we hear your concern. We'll circle back. It's like, circle back to where? Hell? And here's the thing that hit me. These people, sadly, a lot of the times don't actually lead. They manage emotions. That's their whole job. Don't upset this group. Don't offend that group. Don't take strong stances. Don't say anything real. And don't do anything real. Just float like a political jellyfish. And when you actually talk to them one-on-one, it gets interesting. I asked one straight up when illegal immigration came up in a local situation. I asked, do you really think that illegal immigration is a top issue in this specific area? You would have thought I asked him to solve a quantum physics question. He really couldn't answer definitively or decisively or quickly. Had to be thought about. It was like when you ask Siri something very complicated. It says, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Can you ask me again? So I said, all right, I get that's a hard one. I want you to think about it. Get back to me. But how about this? What do you think the top 3 issues in your district are? And again, I didn't get a clear response. Not a very good answer. And I like this person. So you're telling me you represent the people, but you don't know what they really care about? Deep down, really care about. I mean, that's like being a bartender who doesn't know what alcohol is. But they do, but do people drink here? I don't know. But I do fully support beverages. It's unbelievable. And that's when it clicks. They don't ask people what they want. Because if they did, they'd actually have to do something. Instead, they run on these vague, fluffy, Hallmark card positions. We support strong communities. It's like, what does that even mean? That's not a policy. That's something you put on a throw pillow. And here's the dirty truth. If you don't have a voting block, you do not exist. And I'm not talking Republican or Democrat. I'm talking a voter block. A loud, organized, unified group of people who could say, hey, do this or we're replacing you. That's it. That's the whole game, people. And we outnumber a lot of people. Because right now, we're all scattered. One guy cares about taxes, another guy cares about schools, another cares about zoning, another cares about crime. Individually, we're opinions. Together, we're leverage. And politicians don't respond to opinions. They respond to pressure. 2 things move them: embarrassment or fear. That's it. Embarrass them publicly, suddenly they hear you. Threaten their seat, suddenly they care deeply. Isn't that amazing? You could scream at them for years and get nothing. But the second their job is on the line, oh, wow, we're launching a task force immediately. No kidding. And here's the trap we've all fallen into. This left versus right shit that I'm going to beat this drum nonstop, Republican versus Democrat. That's fucking WWE. It's theater. It's red team versus blue team while both teams are sponsored by the same people backstage. And we're sitting there arguing in the stands like idiots. Meanwhile, the actual issues in your town, the roads, the taxes, the schools, the overdevelopment, the crime, nobody's touching them, are they? Because those issues apparently don't trend on social media. They get applause lines. They require, or they don't get applause lines. They require actual work. So here's the shift. And this is where it gets real. Stop waiting for the politicians to fix it, because they won't and they can't. Not because they're evil, but because they're weak. They don't want to ruffle feathers. They don't want controversy. They don't want risk. They don't want to cost. So if that's the reality, stop fucking begging these people and start building something. We have to start running local candidates who don't want a career. That's the key. The second is someone who wants the second someone wants a lifelong political career, they're compromised. Because now they're playing the game. You want people who don't care about the ladder, who don't care about the game, who want to flip the game over. People who got in, fix something, and then get out, and then live by what they fixed, like a contractor, not a politician. And more importantly, build your own voting block. That's the cheat code. You want power? Organize 500 people to all agree on 3 things. Just 3. Not 50 issues, not ideology. 3 clear demands. Then walk into a room and say, "Vote. Hey, we vote together." Watch how fast the tone changes. Suddenly, they all know your name. They return your calls. They have your answers, and now you have a voice. You're not a consequence anymore, and that's the part that they understand. So I'm done asking, done hoping, done pretending these people are going to wake up and one day have courage. It's not happening. They don't lead. They follow pressure. So if we want change, people, we stop being individuals yelling into the void and we become a problem they can't ignore. That's how this actually works. Not hashtags, not debates, not team jerseys. Pressure, real pressure. Organized, focused, unapologetic pressure. That's the game. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's Mike's right. Hope you listen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, am I fucking discombobulated today? But I got to tell you guys, I hope you listen to that. Because, the truth of the matter is, I've been talking to people, and I do like the people I've been talking to. But, it's like, I appreciate their honesty, but I'm disheartened by their honesty. Because the truth of the matter is, what they say a lot of the times was, there's nothing I could fucking do. There's just nothing I could get done. I could put bills together, but they're not going to go anywhere because no one's going to vote for them. And it's really defeatist when you get in there. It's like, I don't know what the politicians are doing besides pissing into the wind and getting the piss blown all back into their faces. That's the God's honest truth. But listen, guys, it's Johnny69 says, "Oh, I listened." Oh, you listened, Mama Dukes. You're spot on, Mike. I appreciate it. Hey, remember, figure the fuck out of my like button early and often. And then by all means, comment do me a favor in the comments. I don't care where your town is, any town USA. I really want you to put in the comments, and I'm going to read my local comments, with Mr. Fiddick in a second. But put in the comments, what are your top 3 issues? Let's do it nationally. Let's do it locally. If you want to put in 3 for nationally and 3 for local, I'd love it. I want to hear from you. And if you want to call up, eventually, we're going to have the call-in line. The phone's charging a little bit. We're going to have the call-in line in a second. When I open up the lines, I love it if you call in and tell me what you think. If you want to talk local, you want to talk nationwide. What are 3 big issues that we could all unite on that we could get done? But let's not waste any more time. Mr. Fidnick, if you're ready, I could see you in the back. Give me a thumbs up if you could hear me and see me. He's good. All right, let's bring him in. All right, without further ado, Mr. Fit Nick. What's up, kid?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Can you hear me?
I got you. Can you hear me? I got you. Yep, definitely. So, dude, you gave me a call today, and you kind of what's that?
There must be a delay.
There must be a little bit of a delay, but that's all right. So let's do this. Let me ask you a question, and then you go on, and then when you stop, we'll work it like that. So you bailed me out of a situation kind of today where you called me up with an interesting story, and I was really scrambling to kind of put this show together. So, dude, do me a favor. What is the breaking news that you're bringing on to talk to us? Tell everybody about this situation in Lakewood.
So it's not really breaking news. It has to do with Lakewood. So on Friday, Thursday or Friday, there was a big bust. There was 25 pounds of marijuana seized, other paraphernalia, and there was the inmate who give me 1 second. The inmate that got locked up today on Monday, 4/20, 3 days after the incident, the warden of Ocean County Jail. Yeah, those are his charges. The warden of Ocean County Jail decided that he was going to tell the deputy warden, hey, go get the inmate, bring him over to where the lawyers do their private one-on-ones. And this inmate got a special visit from two rabbis. They kicked the cops out, they kicked the inmates out. Now, that's a big no-no because we don't know what's going on in there. We don't know what's said, right? So they record the phone calls for a reason. They have officers and visits for a reason. Why does a guy from Lakewood get special treatment? Now, this isn't the only first thing that I've heard about Ocean County Jail giving the people from Lakewood special treatment. But this guy here, his name is, sorry guys, his name is Ben Gross. Ben Gross is that. There you go. So the problem with this is, why are we allowing special treatment for one religion in the county jail? And multiple inmates, multiple officers have told me, reached out to me and told me different things. Transfers in the middle of the night, special court hearings. But this one, the most recent one, happened today. Imagine you get locked up, Mike, on Friday. Do you think in a million years that they will let your wife or your kids come and have a special visit in the lawyer area where nobody can hear you, nobody can see you?
So what I'm trying to understand is help everybody understand this, because you say it's in the lawyer area. I would imagine that the lawyer and the client could talk in a private area, anything like that. I didn't know anybody else had access to be able to pull a person out to do that. Do priests, like if I wanted to meet with a priest and confess my sins to a priest in this room or whatever the hell it is, or have this person talk to me that's not a lawyer, that doesn't have a law degree, or maybe they did. Do they have law degrees?
So no, I was told they were just rabbis. They weren't lawyers. They didn't check in as lawyers. They checked in as just rabbis. They showed up. They basically, I guess they called the warden, showed up for the warden. So we want to see this inmate. The warden reached out to the deputy warden, go pull the inmate off the unit. They pulled the inmate off the unit. They brought him into the area where you do lawyer visits. Now, lawyers are allowed to have the one-on-one private visits because they're lawyers, right? Because there's codes to it. They have a responsibility. They could lose their license, all things like that. Okay. When you go, if you want to see the chaplain or something, there's always got to be an officer around. You can't just sit in a room quietly by yourselves and have a little conversation or be alone with them because things happen with inmates. So I'm not saying that the rabbis did anything wrong. What I'm saying is nobody else would get this privilege in the jail. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, the special treatment. This is just one example. It's not really a news story. Could the warden get fired? Probably. Should he? Probably.
But it's one of those things like you said, right? So how many if you're not inside that community, and you're caught with 25 pounds of marijuana, or let's just say I have had friends that have been on this show that were caught with a lot of heroin, and I guarantee you they weren't going to be allowed to be put in a room with anybody but a lawyer to discuss anything in private like that besides somebody with a lawyer before they were really talked to by anybody, interrogated or anything like that. I could tell you that right now. I think I could bring on some of my friends and they will tell you they would not be given this privilege, right?
Oh, you just got to ask any single person that's ever been in Ocean County Jail that's something that would ever happen, and they'll tell you no. You got to remember, I'm a retired corrections officer. I've never seen this because I've never seen Jewish people in the state jail. Like I guess they don't get convicted of anything. I don't know. They keep them in the county. They go to special jail for them.
So that's interesting. So you never see Jewish people in jail?
I worked at 3, never, not long.
That's very interesting because that's saying that they don't have a criminal in their entire community, and they obviously do, right? Because they've caught plenty of them. So I've heard people that were locked up with that one murderer, the one woman that killed her kids, or people have reached out to me that they were locked up with her. But that's interesting. Well, would you know that they were acidic because they won't be able to dress obviously in jail the way they would normally, right?
Well, they would. So we have, so in New Jersey State Corrections, there's a big Muslim population because the Department of Correction allows them to recruit inmates to their organization, and they have a big festival. They have Ramadan. It's a big gang unit in the jail. Then the jail does nothing to stop it. So I've seen the Muslim studies. I've seen the Catholic and I've never seen Jewish studies. I've never seen inmates with curls. I've never seen them. 23 years, not one.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, man. You know what's interesting too? It's like so I was talking to some just talking to different politicians just to gauge them. I'm trying to gauge where these people are at. How much would they want to talk about anything? Are they going to be a help? A help in any way, shape, or form? And it really does seem like, dude, what did you think about the monologue with the voter block? Because I got to tell you something. The only way I see that we could ever get any type of traction is honestly to break free locally of the left right, the Republican Democrat situation, and start an independent party that has its own that put up our own candidates that only want to serve 4 years and get out. Not lifelong politicians, people that want to get in, help the community, and leave. You tell me, dude, where do you see the flaws in that?
All right. So right now I'm currently interviewing all the governors in Florida, and then I'm doing
Mhm.
Ohio also next. And then we're going to Texas. So here's the thing, right? If you guys want to fix politics, and I've actually had this discussion with you before, the top down doesn't work. Just like when we give money to the fucking big businesses, are supposed to create jobs. This shit does not work. The only thing that's going to work is from the bottom up. So guys like you, guys that are part of the community, guys that are willing to speak up, just run for fucking office. Use social media to get you in. Be a part of the community. The problem is these people that run for these areas, they don't care because they become career politicians. They're not held accountable for anything. They make the votes for the money that they get from the PACs that they give, and the promises that they make. And this is why Bill Spadia and Jack Cicinelli lost. Bill Spadia lost because he wouldn't get the Lakewood midterm vote. Jack Cicinelli lost because he went and kissed the wall a week before the election.
Mhm.
So either you support the Jewish people or you don't support the Jewish people. And that's why you'll never have a Republican in office, because the people in New Jersey that are Republican, you got two Republicans, right? You got the Jewish Republican set and you got the middle class Republican set in Ocean County and the surrounding areas. Those people aren't going to vote for the same person. So they split the vote, and then whoever the person is that they don't want in the midterms gets in. They just don't go and vote. But the problem is every single person, Republican, should be going out in the midterms. And I love what the teacher in New Jersey is doing, getting everybody together.
Mhm.
And maybe you can build some momentum out of that, where you get like-minded people in certain districts that are there for the districts that want to change the way things are happening. Like people in New Jersey, you guys got to look around. Like the people that grew up there, especially, and how big these schools were filled, what the towns look like back in the 90s, early 2000s. Like, why are they closing schools? Why are the numbers down? Well, middle class isn't having fucking kids. Our kids aren't having families. So now they're running out of kids for these schools, and it's just going to keep compounding districts, and they're already starting.
No shit. Jay Calda in the chat says, and now he talk about a corrections officer. He was a major. He was number one in the Chiefs test before Chris Christie got rid of that position. So he retired a major. He says that is correct. Only a lawyer can speak with an inmate privately. Even then, an officer is supposed to be very close.
Right. So,
So I
and
mean,
with that being said, everybody on here, I posted the video on Facebook. It's on Instagram. This warden needs to be fired if he's going to allow shit like this to happen in his jail.
you
It's
have to be
just
reprimanded.
nepotism at its finest.
So he also goes on to say he's seen plenty of Jewish people in prison, several in the sex offender prison. He worked at
I
Avenel
was never
for
there.
quite some time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, so you were never in the sex offender prison, dude. It's funny because it's we had, what was it, Channel 12 News did that one story, and it was clearly a story about Jewish people, the Jewish people watching porn on the public library computers, right where kids and everybody could see it, and they had people recording it, and you could clearly see what population it was. But Number 12 News was like, people are watching porn on the public library computers, and the videos that they're playing, it's all one group, but even them, they would not want to say, which group it was. Neil in the chat says, direct action, stop relying on politicians and government, and in many ways as possible. Yeah, no bullshit. Mariah says her top three are overbuilding, building in the Pinelands area, rules for some and not for all, and discrimination. Absolutely. White collar crimes are not crimes. Leah says her things are misuse of funds, accepting Section 8 members without higher standards, and keeping tenants too long. Also, the modifications of school curriculums are imperative. Yet, listen, man, we have these things where I really do believe, Nick, that we could have 3 or 4 issues. I say 3 because I like that number. Take 3 issues that I think you get Democrats or Republicans to agree on. But one of the things that you say, like when you said run for office, one of the things I want to get back to is this. Let's say you run for office, and then you're running against a Republican, you're running against a Democrat, and you're an independent. And this is the problem with independents, because the independent vote is always demonized some way, that you're only going to hurt the Democrats, or you're only going to hurt the Republicans, and all this shit. So this has been tried before. People got up, people said enough's enough, they're running, and they didn't have any backing behind them because everyone's in their own little corners. This is why I said, like, there has to be different voter blocks and situations where like-minded people can get together, and it's almost like a libertarian party, but like not, because that's a very weird party. But I really don't know how I'm describing this, but because I really haven't flushed it out all in my head. But it seems like the independent people can't get traction because they don't have that big group of people that are willing to back them and not the other bullshit party candidates.
Well, this is why it's super important what you're doing. Just having a voice in Bricktown and speaking to the people and meeting people. And eventually, Mike, when you're big and you have a fucking voice, and, from Brick to the county to the state, then you, as a person who speaks the truth, either you run, or somebody and somebody you trust run, and you push them on social media, right? Because that TV is dead. Everybody's heads are in these phones. Everything that you guys see is in these phones. And if you have enough media coverage just in your town or your county and your state, and enough people sharing it, enough like-minded people, then you can win an election, right? If you put a group of people together that are like-minded, and you put a pack together in their own pack, and you vote this red in midterms and push that way, you can move elections. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I was supposed to do Jay Collins' interview. He bailed on me. Then his campaign manager went on X and lied, and that blew up. And Jay Collins had to do a friggin' a press conference, and he's making videos because everybody's losing their minds because he didn't show up. He was the only governor guy to show up. They said lies. A couple influencers made videos, and it became a problem. Like, people
So
don't realize that social media can move elections. Somebody's got to step up and do it. And you and Teacher New Jersey, like, you guys are doing what needs to be done.
So tell us about your interviews, bro. Who did you interview in Florida? I know I saw Byron Donalds, right?
Yeah, so I got Byron Donalds. I got James Fish back on this Thursday. That's going to be huge. We're expecting probably over about 700 people for that. I did Paul Renner, and then I did Bobby Williams. Um, I've also done trying to do Dan Bilzerian, and I'm doing the Ohio governors, Vivek, and the other guy that's running against him, who's running on the America First platform. I'm always down to help America First individuals. So me and Colton, we started this, and we have a podcast coming out. All the videos, all the interviews are going to be going up, and we're going to be traveling, doing all different types of stuff and different types of interviews, trying to get people to understand how important the midterms are. Right? Because I hear, how many times I heard growing up, that, oh, it's the lesser of two evils, right? You vote Democrat
Mhm.
or Republican. No, if you guys go out for the midterms, you could pick who the fuck you want to run for governor, who you choose to run for governor. And people don't forget that. And that's why the news doesn't push it, because they don't want you going out, because it doesn't take that many votes to sway an election. So if they don't talk about it, nobody knows about the midterms, who cares? Mike, you have a voice. You pick out your America First candidates in Bricktown and Ocean County. You speak about it on here. And that's who you tell your people to go vote for in the midterms. And then they go up against the Democrats. And you tell those people to vote those people against the Democrats. And now you own your fucking county again.
Yeah, dude, I just don't know if I want to go through the Republican rank. You know what I'm saying? I have to kind of do it. So I'm running for the county committee seat for the Republicans. And it's really to kind of get in there and see how this, see how the inner workings of that party are, because it's one of those things like, do we have to take over like a certain party? Is that how it's done? Like we have to just be that wing and be a better wing and be a better representative of people for a party? I don't know, man, because I think that leaves out a whole hell of a lot of people. But I don't know if I haven't figured out a way to get the independent vote to come together as a group of people. People have to identify as something, and people already
It's the
identify as an
infrastructure.
R or a D, right?
The infrastructure. You got to build your own infrastructure. And in order to do that, you need capital, or you need
Yeah.
support from the people that you're talking to. And let me tell you something, you got the support of Ocean County, I'm sure of it. People are tired of living paycheck to paycheck, and people are tired of not being able to start families, buying houses or renting. And people are tired of watching their kids sit in the basement, not have a life. And then you got one town where there's 8, 9 fucking kids, and they don't even have to work. And people are tired of it, and
Did you
you can
see?
help make that change.
I just got this sent to me. Chris Pollock sent this to me. Richie Roberts, the Lakewood billionaire that was in that Tyler video with us. Um, Senate majority, House Majority Leader Mike Johnson, or Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, just took a visit, him and Chris Smith, to Lakewood, and spent time with Richie Roberts, and it was basically like hosted at Richie Roberts' house and all that. And it's just, when if these people ever came to Brick, Chris Smith runs in this area, and I don't think he's ever came to Brick to actually talk to people. Every once in a while, he's not like, this guy has been in Congress for 46 years, and he does not represent us. I don't care. Like, none of them, even the one dude, the one building I was at earlier in the week. You look at the name hasn't changed in years, and I can't think of anything that the person's ever done for us, ever being in office, ever in his life. And these guys are lifelong guys that just, it just bothers me, dude, because you definitely see it. You definitely see it's all about money. It's nothing but they're cucks for campaign dollars. And that's really the God's honest truth, man. It's kind of disgusting to see up close.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're familiar with Fishback.
I am.
He
Yeah, I've been watching a
literally
lot about him.
he was nobody in November. He ran. He spoke on the America First platform. He spoke against Israel, and he has his team are 18 to like 24-year-olds, and they just blast the internet with him. And this guy is traveling every day. So he'll go do a podcast, and instead of sitting in the hotel that night, he'll go do a pop-up at like a Waffle House or a diner. But he's using the internet as his campaign, and he has no PAC money, and he's killing it. So he's making a difference. He's showing, right? Because what happens in Florida with Republicans takes ripples across the country. And he's showing the country, just like Mondami did with the Democrats, that you can use the internet to get voted in. The
Yeah, I think
TV's for the boomers.
it's very powerful, man. Here's the bottom line, and this is the crazy part. I'll tell you a quick story. And everywhere I'm going anymore, I'm definitely getting recognized. And you said the people of Ocean County are behind me. I'm going to tell you something right now that's a very accurate statement. Everybody that's not part of Lakewood, and even other select parts of Lakewood, they are 100% fully supportive with me. And dude, the amount of things that they're being said to me in a positive way are amazing. We were just like everywhere I go, it's interesting. I'm getting recognized, but I went to an estimate the other over the weekend, and it was really cool because I knocked on the door. They had a little dog. The little dog runs out and he runs over to the neighbors, and the neighbors were, working on their house and stuff. And the neighbor looks up at me and goes, "Are you here on business?" Or he goes, "What are you doing today? You doing your masonry, or are you fighting Lakewood?" And I wasn't there to see that guy. I was there to see his neighbor. And I said, "Man, I'm doing both every day." He's like, "Man, I just want to say," he goes, "I fully support you." He goes, "There's a lot of people I know support you. Thank you for what you're doing," and blah blah blah. And then the people I was obviously doing the estimate for, they got in touch with me because they heard me say that I was a Mesa contractor in this. So listen, it's definitely it's doing its thing. Let's put it that way. And the internet is definitely very powerful, especially when you do, what we do and what these guys are doing. I think it's a medium that so many of these politicians, I think they're too fake, and I think they'll get it. One thing about these videos is this: if the cameras knows how to pick up authenticity and not. If you ask me, and only the most skilled politicians know how to say bullshit and still come off authentic. The majority of these people, they don't want to show their face. They don't want to get on the camera. They don't want to come debate me or any of that stuff because they know deep down that the camera is going to expose how pathetic they actually are. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Right. And it's not like you're on here spitting out lies and hate. You're spitting out truths and you're spitting out injustices because you work hard. Your father worked hard. Your wife works hard. Your friends work hard. Your kids work hard. And to see them and yourself and everybody else getting screwed over by the system that you helped create, it's a fucking nightmare, man. And it's a shame. But like I said before, the media pushes who they want in office. They don't tell you about the midterms. We're here to wake people up, tell people what they got to do if they want change. Because I can't imagine people are happy with what the fuck is going on in Ocean County.
No, dude, you know what's interesting? So you have Teresa right here. She says, "What you're building here matters more than you even realize. By consistently speaking to real local issues, the people, taxes, school, development, you're already creating the foundation for a true grassroots block rooted in fairness and accountability. Keep going. This real change starts. Fairness and accountability." Listen, it's very interesting. You ready? Let's do this really quick, Nick. I asked a question, and this is amazing, right? Because this video got around very fast. It's 320 comments already. 320 comments, and it was a very simple question. "Hey, Ocean County, what are your top 3 issues?" Do me a favor. Like, have you ever heard any of our politicians ask the people of our county or their districts that fucking question online and say, "Hey, man, what are your big issues? What can I do?" Because, it's ridiculous because they're supposed to represent us, but a lot of times they don't. And let me just give you a taste. I'm going to go random with this, but I'm going to read like 5 off of really quick. All right. Here's one: decimation of wooded areas, rules not being the same for anybody, and abuse of our systems. Right. That's their top 3. Let's go here. Land tax, misuse of tax, overdevelopment. All right. Ready? Lakewood traffic enforcement, and engineering, testing seniors driver's license. That's an interesting one. I like that one. Taxes, corruption, and traffic. Overbuilding, destroying our once beautiful town, or rentals. Okay. Multi-dwelling homes, welfare fraud, overdevelopment, overbuilding, building in the pinelands, lack of wetland, overbuilding, traffic. So it's like if you just go through the same themes: taxes, fraud, congestion, high property taxes, school taxes, overdevelopment, fraud, taxes. It's like over and over and over and over and over and over again. And let me ask you a question, man. Do you see any of these politicians in New Jersey, even locally, that are addressing these issues that people in Ocean County have? Or let's say you're in Florida. Do you really feel like any of these guys address the real issues that are going on locally or in your state at all in any meaningful way?
No, not at all. Not even down here. Unless, there's a couple people that are pushing, like Matt the Welder. That's his name. He's working for Ag Commissioner in Florida. He's part of the People Movement, the America First movement. There are for certain people that are reaching out to me that they want to get on camera and say what they got to say. But it's the same thing in Jersey. Now, there, Carmen Amato, he was the mayor of Berkeley Township. He's a senator now. he was a very caring politician with an ear. Was he an outgoing politician? He could be, I guess, but at least he had an ear. So like, if there was a problem in our area or something going on in the town, I would bring it up to him, and he would most likely handle it. As a senator, there's everybody's got different truths, Mike. Even they have their own truths, right? What's their
Yeah, how long
agendas?
is that?
So even though you have 32 Republican, let's say senators or 60, whatever it is, not everybody's voting on the same path. Not everybody has the same like-minded. And that's why I say, like, you got to start building a coalition of like-minded individuals in each district and speak to those people, get them on here, have conversations with them. And then a week before the midterms, start telling the people, like, hey, these are the people for the America First, people's movement, not our typical, and then if you can get a group of enough people in, you can make things happen. But
Yeah, dude. Hey,
one
listen, if you notice,
person isn't going to make things happen.
if everybody noticed, I put the show phone up on the screen. If you want to call in, call in. If you want to, chime in on this, if you want to say your top three or ask Mr. Fignick a question, any of this stuff, talk about any topic, 732-608-4358, 732-608-4358. The phone lines are open. Give us a call, and they're going to be open for the rest of the show. But what else, Nick, man? Let me ask you a question. Out of everybody that you interviewed over there, Byron Donalds and the three so far, who is the most impressive? Who do you think? Who's got the lead in your mind over for your vote before Fishback?
So Byron Donalds is your typical politician. Nice guy, takes APAC money, voting for data centers, which I'm fucking totally against. That's why half of you motherfuckers can't afford your fucking bills right now, is because of those data centers, and they're trying to bring them to Florida. Anyway, so Renner, he's a very America First guy. Doesn't want the PAC money. He wants to keep the groves, wants to keep the farmlands, and that's like a lot of people's problem down here. The groves, the farmland, Southwest Florida's water supply, especially in Cape Coral. So I didn't really get to talk to Collins. I'm not a big Collins guy because I'm not a big monitoring the people with the police, meaning the flock cameras, Palantir. So if I haven't talked to Fishback yet, I'm going to see him Thursday. Hope everybody can tune in for that. But if I was
You doing that
voting
live?
today, yeah, I'm going to have it live too.
Okay.
If I was voting today, it would be Paul Renner, because he's not one of these PAC people. Bobby Williams is a really nice guy too. I just don't think he's got enough motion to compete. But right now, and here's the politics of Florida right now. The boomers are for Donalds and Collins and Renner. The 18 to 33, 34-year-old males are for Fishback. And that's because they can't buy houses. They can't, right? It's the fucking everything going on. They're fucking illegals. And he's promising them he's going to fucking clean fucking house when he gets in there. So he's got the youth vote. So the other three are fighting for the boomer vote. If all three of them stay in to the end, Fishback will win, because they're going to split the boomer vote between the three of them. Bobby Williams drops out. If Collins drops out, I think Renner has a possibility of beating Byron Donalds, because they're trashing Byron Donalds right now. He might, he could technically beat Byron Donalds and maybe Fishback, but if they don't drop out of it before the midterms, Fishback's going to take it because he's got the youth vote and the girls too.
What's up, babe? My wife just opened up the door. What's up, Serena? Do you want to bring him on? Huh?
Oh, your wife's a fan. She wants to say hi to me.
Oh, she was just looking at me. So I think the baby just wanted to see me. Does he want to come? He's a year old. Do you want to come see everybody? Come on, buddy. Come here. Come here. He's going to watch kick the camera. Come on, buddy. Come on. You want to come see everybody? Come show your jammies. Come on. Come on. Say, hey, everybody. Hi, everybody. Say, everybody, check out my
Iron Man.
Check out my Iron Man jammies right here. He is a year old, Mr. Fidneck. Do you believe this? 1 year old for this little guy.
Look at the size of that head.
Look at the size of his head, right? He's a good-looking kid, though. He's a good-looking kid. You see it? You see the Yeah. Say hi to everybody. Can you wave? Say hi to everybody. Hi. Hi. There you go. Mama Duke's grandma. Say hi. 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 Yeah, you want to talk? You want to talk? So he is a year, my man. That is awesome. Thank you, buddy. He wanted. He just. He just
He wants to join the
wanna leave.
conversation.
Here, Bubby. Oh, wow. Okay, no, hey, let's stay here. All right, let's keep talking. He wants to chill. He wants to hang out with us, my man. So hey, once again, guys, if you can give us a call, 608-4358-732-608-4358. Anything else, bro? What do you want to talk about? We have
I don't know,
I don't know, what do
man.
we have? About
I'm
10 minutes
excited.
left, man. What do you want to cover? What's been new in Mr. Fitnick's life? Oh, let
Nothing.
me
I'm
ask you a
getting.
question,
Go
bro.
ahead.
Why was I left out of the you were going after these influencers pretty hard. Am I in too good a shape, but not enough of out of shape for you to break my balls, or what? I felt a little left out there.
No, I got the problem is these guys are like they got like 500,000 plus to 1 million viewers,
Oh,
and they're all
gotcha.
divas. And I gotta keep them under control. But I'll do another one if you're willing to do it. Listen,
No,
man.
I'm just bullshitting. If you want to yell at me every day to get in shape, I could use somebody breaking my balls, bro. That's for damn sure. I really can.
Hey, man, I keep trying to tell you, right? No seed oils, no carbs, right? No fucking high fructose corn syrup, especially keep it out of that young man's mouth when he can
Yep.
start eating whole foods.
Well,
Have Mama
I
Duke's
try.
cook
I've been trying
breakfast.
to do all breast milk diet, but my wife doesn't want to. She doesn't.
Watch, she
She
gets.
doesn't.
It's,
She doesn't
hey,
want to
tell her
give
she'll
me
get
any.
super skinny. She'll get super skinny.
Here, homie. There you go. I love you. Say bye bye. Say bye bye. We got to finish the show.
So how many? Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. How many
Fire away,
death
bro.
threats do you get in a week?
0, dude. I got to be honest. It's kind of it's very interesting because I don't. They don't want to give me any attention. I don't get any. I don't get any nasty comments. Any of the, even like the Jewish people that get in touch with me. I joke around, call my Jew splainers, because a lot of them are trying to explain who they are to me. And it's interesting because they all tell me the exact same thing. So it's kind of like a theme that happens. But no, dude, I don't get any death threats. Not, the worst that's happened is I got some weird mail, but that was a couple years ago.
Mm.
I really believe that I don't know if they know how to deal with me. I know they certainly don't want to amplify my voice at all. They don't want to legitimize me. They don't want to. This is like the first time when I started calling out the Lakewood papers, the Lakewood schmooze, like commented on me. So this is like the first time they're actually starting to engage with me, which is interesting. But dude, nothing yet, man. I have not had much hate thrown my way at all.
You'll start growing, and the more you grow, then your voice will get heard. They're not gonna have a choice but to address you. I get like 2 or 3 a week. It's fucking insane, man. Like
Oh
people
yeah.
legit. Oh yeah, we're gonna blow your brains out. I got as many haters as I got. I got fucking people that like me though, so I guess it's cool.
Yeah, dude, you know what? I try to do. Like, I know there's people out there that loathe me entirely, and you hear these stories. There was a story that was just sent to me about a black woman up north that was fighting against a certain community, and she just got blown up like 12 bullet holes in her body when she was going to her car, going to work that morning. There's a lot of stories that get sent to me. You know what? I get a lot of I get a lot of people praying for me and telling me
Me
to be
too.
careful. A lot of people offering to be like security on their off days for me and stuff. There's a lot of people that think I'm going to get hurt. 100%.
Yeah.
I get like 2 or 3 of those messages a day where it's like, yo, man, I'm praying for you. Please watch yourself, watch out. And these people are dangerous, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I get. I get more of that than anything else.
Yeah, my inbox is filled with those too. People, the love that I get, which is nice. So, like I said,
Yeah.
I do this. I do this because I got family up there. I grew up there. I mean, I really have no stake in the game in Jersey anymore, other than my mom and my other daughter moved. But I mean, I'll still be talking about it. I'm still going to be doing investigations.
You know what's interesting though, Nick? It's like, how disgusting is it, man, that everyone sees who I am. I'm not, I'm a mason contractor that's raising a family, that has 2 older kids and a 1-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Who's just trying to be a voice for people that I don't think have a voice, that have no representation, that have nobody that's willing to speak up for them and get their concerns out and voice their opinion. That's all I'm doing is speaking for the majority of people. And it's interesting how that puts our lives in danger. And I don't think we're saying anything. I don't think you have ever said anything ridiculous that you deserve a death threat. I don't think I'm saying things so ridiculous that my life should be taken or I should be worrying about my family. But deep down, I do worry when I'm gone about my family, about some jerk off coming into my house. I do worry about some stuff like that, and I think it's because there's a lot of people that are assuming they're assuming the worst for me. It's kind of disgusting when you really think about it, that just me being able to speak in an intelligent, clear, concise manner that really exposes the situations, and you doing the same thing, you having a voice and having the courage to just speak the truth, how that puts us in danger. When everyone says we live in a free country with free speech, if my speech puts my life or my family's life in danger, is it free?
No, because
if
that just goes with if you can't speak about a certain people without getting fired or being doxxed or not being able to have a bank. Like, you're being controlled by those people. You're being ruled by those people. And that's what people need to understand. And, everybody, what I get a lot of people are like, be like, man, keep talking. I can't say anything. I'll lose my job, but you keep talking. It's like I get those. The people that like root me on. Hey, keep going. I can't do it, but you keep doing it, because they're scared. And that leaves everything. But the difference is you have a voice. I have a voice. I'm able to use it. I'm able to speak up about it. And it took me a while of my life to get here. A lot of cleaning up of my life and my food and my diet to see what the fuck is going on, and then be able to speak about it. Because 4 or 5 years ago, being on camera would be like the scariest thing for me. Hearing my voice on a telephone answering machine bothered me. But now I have no problem doing it because I feel so deeply about what I do that it doesn't even affect me anymore.
And you feel better about yourself though too. You know what I'm saying? Like when you make some of the changes and you're living healthy, doing the right things, you have a better overall image of yourself, your self-worth. You know what I'm saying? That how you feel overall, physically, mentally, everything's better.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I appreciate you having me on tonight.
Yeah, dude. Listen, tell everyone where they can find you, bro, because we're gonna wrap up anyway. I'm gonna get to the last couple of comments, but tell everybody where they can find you.
Sure, it's Mr. Fitnick. It's across all the platforms. We just started our YouTube podcast channel. It's the Nick and Colton Show. It's on every platform. We're going to be uploading all our interviews. We're going to be uploading a couple investigations, and then we're going to be sitting down with a lot of people, other influencers, politicians, a couple celebrities. Then we're going to be uploading those videos and talking about things that are happening in this country, things that matter to the Gen X and the youth and what's going on with them, and just trying to speak the truth and speak to the people and try to make people understand what's going on and why it's going on.
Outstanding, man. We need a hell of a lot more more of you guys. Trevor Doyle says, "You've lost weight already, bro. You're good." Listen, these are the comments that we get. How can we not be like these guys make my head so big, Nick? I got to tell you, man, they just pump me up. They're like, "You're the fucking best." You know what the best thing I hear is? I hear this a lot. And it's just the thing that I think means the most to me. Oh shit! Listen, here we go. You ready? You want to stick around for a phone call real quick, Nick?
Sure.
Oh wait, I guess they didn't want to do it. Should we call them back?
Damn likely. Go ahead, call them.
Who knows? They didn't want to do it. So that's all right. Hey, listen, everybody, I really appreciate it. It's Johnny says, strap up, brother. The boy is pulling in a cameo. Yeah, man. Valentina wanted to fucking hang out with us. But everybody, listen, man, really appreciate it. And guys, if we fight for our limitations and we fight for the bullshit that's being shoved in our faces, and we continue to go left and right, and we continue. Let's see what happens. Hello, where are you calling from?
Hello.
What's your name?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Scott Dolan calling from Bricktown, New Jersey.
Yo, Scott, how you doing, buddy? What do you want to talk about? We're about to wrap up the show. Let's make it about 30 seconds. What's up, brother?
Well, I get calling out the people of Lakewood, but there is a ton of corruption within our own base and our own Republican Party that we'd be better off going after first.
Oh, why do you think I'm running for the county committee? Oh, trust me, dude. I fully agree with you. I think there's a lot of
They're all
garbage
in on it.
everywhere. That's the beauty of what we do.
Yeah, they're all in on it. It's
like,
rooting it
I'll
out, though.
explain to you, and that maybe I'll get on a podcast with you and explain the issues I've dealt with in Point Pleasant Beach of outright extortion by politicians, lawyers, and the building department. To the point of Brian Martin screaming in my face like he's going to beat me up. To the point where I literally had to calm him down, say, "Don't get violent with me."
Okay.
And this has been going on for like several years now, and I can't get any help because there was a fraud created by attorney John Jackson.
Oh man, you just named my favorite attorney of all time. Of all time. I caught that asshole lying, and I got kicked out of that meeting. Isn't that some crazy shit? But yeah, dude, listen, let's do this. Message me, and I'd love to have you on. Let's bullshit about it.
It's a very interesting story. I think people need to hear it and to understand what happened to me and my property in Point Pleasant Beach, I had great plans for it. I still have great plans for it, but this is just ridiculous corruption, and people should be arrested for what happened to me.
Dude, let's talk about it. Message me back, and I'll definitely have you on to talk about it. Have a great night, brother. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
All right, bro. Dude, you like my call-in feature? Hey, I got my own little cell phone right here for this, huh, bro? I fucking love it. Anyway, listen, everybody. Mr. Fit Nick, thank you very much for everything you do, guys. Listen, we have got to build an army of caltrops. That's the only way this is going to work out. And, we are going to be here. Me, Mr. Fit Nick, Conservative Willie, all the people that are like us, the people that think like us, the ones that are not afraid to speak are going to be here as your defense mechanisms from all of that garbage that's being thrown at you on a day-to-day basis. Thank you guys very much. Finger blast my like button. Follow Mr. Fit Nick, Conservative Willie, and check out their new show. Really appreciate you guys. This Caltrop is out. Later.